Hey guys, tonight we're going on a journey, a whispered voyage into the very heart of existence, where ancient wisdom intertwines with your own modern life. Imagine for a moment, if you will, that you're standing on a precipice, not of a mountain, but of time itself, looking back through centuries of human striving, human joy, and yes, human struggle. You might feel a gentle breeze, carrying echoes of philosophers' debates and the quiet hum of countless lives lived. It's a tale designed to calm the restless mind, to soothe the anxieties that often cling to our waking hours, and to lull you into a state of profound contemplation. You know, sometimes it feels like we're constantly juggling 1,000 invisible balls, and if you drop one, you probably wouldn't survive the karmic fallout. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And please, let me know in the comments where you're listening from tonight, and what time it is for you right now. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. The Upanishads elevated karma from agricultural metaphor to cosmic principle around 800 BCE, comparing it to a potter's wheel whose spin echoes across lifetimes. Archaeologists working at Sarnath recently uncovered a remarkable artifact, a teacher's staff etched with hundreds of minute notches, each representing a student's karmic dilemma. One particularly poignant groove asks in Prakrit script, "If I steal bread to feed my starving mother, where does the karma land?" The answer carved beside it reveals ancient humor. In your stomach first, then your next life's waistline. This blend of wit and wisdom underscores how seriously these scholars wrestled with moral accounting. A groundbreaking 2023 study of newly deciphered palm leaf manuscripts from Nalanda University reveals that Hindu logicians had developed a complex karmic algebra system, complete with equations weighing intentions against outcomes. Their description of karma as invisible threads vibrating across existence now stuns quantum physicists, as it perfectly anticipates quantum entanglement theory by 2,600 years. Even more astonishing are the temple carvings at Thanjavur, where restorers discovered a hidden chamber containing life-size stone scales, one pan filled with carved skulls representing violent acts, the other with lotus flowers symbolizing compassion. Inscriptions confirm this was an interactive teaching device where pilgrims could physically place tokens representing their deeds. The true revelation: these weren't metaphors to them, but observable laws, as tangible as monsoons following seasonal winds. As you drift deeper into this historical reverie, consider the Stoics, a group of philosophers who walked the bustling streets of ancient Athens and Rome, their minds just as intricate as the cosmic principles contemplated in the East. They weren't concerned with the next life, but with this one, right here, right now. Their focus was on what they could control, a concept both simple and profoundly difficult to master. You might imagine them strolling through the agora, perhaps sidestepping a stray goat or two, calmly observing the chaos around them, their inner world undisturbed. Historians still debate whether Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, ever truly lost his temper. Some say he had a perpetual chill vibe before it was even a thing. It is reported that one of their lesser-known exercises involved trying to remain utterly unperturbed while being pelted with rotten fruit, a practice you'd hope didn't catch on at modern philosophy conventions. This unwavering focus on internal fortitude, on the dominion over one's own mind, forms the bedrock of their approach to life's intricate dance of cause and effect, which, in its own way, mirrors the concept of karma. The Stoic masters like Epictetus, a former slave, understood that while you cannot control the wind, you can adjust your sails. This simple analogy held profound implications for how they viewed personal responsibility and destiny. You might feel a gentle tug, a recognition that this ancient wisdom still holds water, like a perfectly preserved Roman aqueduct. Did you know that Seneca the Younger, one of Rome's most prominent Stoics, was also an immensely wealthy playwright and advisor to Emperor Nero? Talk about walking the walk while enjoying the finer things in life. It's almost like a celebrity endorsing a meditation app today, but with more toga. Historians still debate whether his wealth ever truly compromised his philosophical ideals, or if he just had really good accountants. He once wrote that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality, a thought that resonates even in our modern world of endless anxieties and hypothetical catastrophes. You see, for the Stoic, true freedom wasn't found in external circumstances, but in the mastery of one's own thoughts and responses. They believed that, while events may be predestined, your reaction to them is always within your power. It's a bit like being caught in a sudden downpour, but instead of panicking, you calmly open your umbrella and find shelter. This is where their philosophy begins to intersect with the very essence of managing karma. There's a curious anecdote that tells of Musonius Rufus, a Stoic teacher, who would sometimes give lectures barefoot in the snow to demonstrate indifference to external conditions. Imagine trying that with today's podcast setup. Historians still debate whether he had remarkably resilient toes or simply a very high pain tolerance, perhaps fueled by pure philosophical zeal. This unwavering dedication to internal locus of control, to what allows you, in the Stoic sense, to navigate the currents of life's consequences, understanding that your inner landscape remains your sovereign territory, regardless of the storms brewing outside. You find yourself now, not just observing, but truly feeling the weight of these ancient ideas settling around you, like a comfortable blanket on a cool evening. The concept of karma, often misunderstood as cosmic punishment, began its journey not in stern judgment, but in the observation of cause and effect, much like watching a seed grow into a plant. It was a practical understanding of consequences, not an arbitrary divine decree. Think of it like setting up dominoes. You knock one over, and the rest follow in a predictable chain. It's not the domino's fault, nor yours, but simply the physics of the situation. There's a fascinating historical tidbit that ancient Mesopotamian legal codes, like the Code of Hammurabi, contain provisions eerily similar to karmic retribution, centuries before Eastern philosophies fully articulated the concept. If you poke someone's eye out, you might just find your own eye poked out in return, a direct, albeit harsh, form of cosmic accounting. Historians still debate whether these early legal systems were an independent development or if the faint echoes of nascent karmic thought permeated ancient trade routes. It's almost as if the universe always had a way of reminding us that actions have reactions, long before philosophers put a name to it. The Stoics, observing the world with their keen, rational minds, approached this chain of cause and effect from a different angle. They weren't focused on past lives or future rebirths, but on the relentless present. They believed that, while you can't control the initial push of the domino, you can absolutely control how you react to the falling pieces, and crucially, what dominoes you choose to set up next. This is where their philosophy truly shines in the context of karma, not as a way to escape consequences, but to manage your participation in the ongoing stream of events. You might feel a shift in perspective, a sense of empowerment even in the face of what feels inevitable. Did you know that Roman gladiators, despite their brutal profession, often embraced Stoic principles to face their inevitable fate with courage and dignity? It sounds counterintuitive, like a modern-day influencer advocating for silent meditation while live-streaming a monster truck rally. Historians still debate whether this adoption was genuine philosophical conviction or simply a pragmatic coping mechanism for a truly grim existence. Regardless, it highlights the enduring appeal of Stoicism in the most challenging of human circumstances. Their teaching was rooted in the idea of the dichotomy of control. Some things are within your power, and most are not. Your thoughts, your judgments, your reactions, these are yours to command. The weather, other people's opinions, even your own physical health at times, these fall outside your direct control. It's a bit like trying to herd cats in a hurricane. Utterly futile, and quite amusing to watch if it's not you doing the herding. This clear delineation provides a powerful framework for navigating the seemingly chaotic currents of life. You're learning to differentiate between the waves you can surf and the waves that will simply crash over you, and how to stay afloat regardless. A little-known fact is that the Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that even bodily illness, though external, provided an opportunity for internal virtue, like patience or fortitude. It's a far cry from modern self-help gurus telling you to manifest perfect health. Instead, it's about embracing what is, which can be surprisingly liberating. Historians still debate whether this level of acceptance ever extended to truly debilitating pain, or if even the most hardened Stoic had a moment of ouch, that really hurts. Consider the profound implications for your karmic journey if you focus your energy on what you can control, your intentions, your efforts, your responses. You are, in essence, shaping the very nature of your future experiences. This isn't about avoiding bad karma, but about cultivating good karma through conscious, virtuous action. It's like tending a garden. You choose what seeds to plant, knowing that those seeds will inevitably grow into something. You wouldn't plant thistles and then complain about being pricked, would you? A fascinating archaeological find in Pompeii revealed a small, intricately carved dice, not for gambling, but with Stoic maxims etched on its faces, suggesting it was used as a daily reminder of their principles. Imagine starting your day by rolling a philosophical die. Today, I will focus on my reactions, or today, I will accept what I cannot change. Historians still debate whether this was a common practice or merely a unique artifact from a particularly diligent Stoic. It hints at a playful yet profound dedication to their philosophical path, turning abstract concepts into tangible, daily practice. This distinction between what is within your power and what is not forms the cornerstone of Stoic peace and, by extension, your control over karma. It allows you to release the burden of trying to change the unchangeable and instead directs your energy towards self-mastery. You begin to understand that true freedom lies not in the absence of external challenges, but in your internal response to them. You are the architect of your inner world, regardless of the storms outside. It's a bit like realizing you can't stop the rain, but you can definitely invest in a really good raincoat and a cheerful umbrella. There's a story that tells of a Stoic who, when his ship was caught in a violent storm, calmly continued to read his scroll, demonstrating profound indifference to external peril. Some versions say he was reading a shopping list, which is perhaps even more impressive. Historians still debate whether this was an actual event or a didactic tale crafted to inspire future students. Either way, it paints a vivid picture of the ultimate Stoic ideal, an unshakable inner tranquility amidst the chaos of the world, a deep and quiet control over your own karmic trajectory. As you continue your journey through the currents of time and thought, you begin to grasp how profoundly intention shapes the very fabric of your experiences, a concept central to both karmic philosophy and Stoic practice. It's not just what you do, but why you do it, that truly matters, acting as the very rudder of your karmic ship. Imagine tossing a stone into a still pond. The ripples spread far and wide, touching every edge, but the initial force and precise direction come entirely from your hand, from your conscious decision to throw. Your inner motivation, your conscious choice, is that initial force, the starting point of everything that unfolds. This idea was meticulously explored in ancient Indian texts, which often detailed the subtle differences between actions driven by anger, greed, or compassion, emphasizing that even seemingly identical external acts could bear vastly different karmic fruit. There's a fascinating albeit apocryphal tale of an ancient sage who could discern a person's true intentions just by observing the faint, almost imperceptible aura surrounding them. A sort of emotional thermal imaging from millennia ago, long before any technology could achieve such a feat. Historians still debate whether this was a real mystical ability or simply an astute observation of human behavior, a keen understanding of subtle cues, but it certainly underscores the profound importance placed on inner states. It is almost like trying to hide a mischievous grin when you read pretending to be serious. Your true feelings always find a way to peek through, no matter how hard you try to mask them. For the Stoics, intention was everything, particularly in the realm of virtue. They believed that the only true good lay in a virtuous will, in acting according to reason and in harmony with nature, regardless of the outcome. External outcomes, whether success or failure, praise or blame, were ultimately indifferent, beyond their direct control, and thus not worth agonizing over. What truly mattered was the purity of your intent, the integrity of your inner compass. You might feel a lightness begin to settle over you, a freeing realization that your worth isn't tied to external validation or fleeting triumphs, to applause or riches, but to the unwavering integrity of your inner self, to the consistent alignment of your actions with your deepest values. Consider Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, who wrote his meditations not for publication, but as a personal guide, a raw and honest exploration of his own intentions and struggles to live virtuously amidst the immense pressures of ruling an empire and waging wars. It is a stark contrast to today's public figures who often craft carefully curated personas for public consumption. He was just trying to be a good human, and sometimes a little grumpy about it, acknowledging his own imperfections. Historians still debate whether his occasional grumbles about court life were genuine frustration or deliberate philosophical exercise to detach from worldly annoyances, a form of mental training. This relentless self-examination of motive was his daily practice, his quiet rebellion against the world's endless demands. The deep connection here is that while karma speaks of consequences flowing from action, and Stoicism emphasizes the virtuous will behind action, both converge on the idea that your internal state is the ultimate determinant of your experience, the very soil in which your life grows. If your intention is pure, rooted in reason and compassion, even if the external outcome is not what you desired, even if the world reacts unexpectedly, your internal karmic account remains clean, or rather, positively charged, adding to your spiritual wealth. It's like sending an email with the best of intentions, meticulously crafted for clarity and kindness, even if the recipient misinterprets it. You did your part, and that's what truly counts. A lesser-known fact is that some Stoic exercises involve mentally preparing for potential misfortunes, not to attract them, but to ensure that one's intention to remain calm and rational was already in place, ready to be deployed the moment crisis struck. Imagine rehearsing your calm reaction to spilling coffee on yourself before it even happens. Now that's planning ahead, probably more effective than just screaming. Historians still debate whether this premeditation of evils actually reduced anxiety or thus made them really good at anticipating bad days, becoming prophets of minor annoyances. This foresight wasn't about inviting trouble, but about fortifying the inner citadel of your will against life's inevitable slings and arrows. This deliberate cultivation of positive intention, a powerful tool in shaping your karmic landscape, a sculptor's hand guiding the clay of your future. Every thought, every judgment, every subtle lean of your will contributes to the character you are building, which in turn influences the kind of experiences you attract and, more importantly, how you perceive and respond to them. It's a continuous, invisible dialogue with the universe where your true self speaks volumes, and the universe listens. You might sense a profound responsibility settling upon you, not as a crushing burden, but as a thrilling opportunity to consciously author your life, to truly become the protagonist of your own story. The ancient Buddhist concept of cetana, or volition, directly links intention to karmic outcome, asserting that it is the mental impulse, not merely the physical act, that carries the karmic weight and determines its nature. There's a curious story of a Zen master who, upon seeing a thief in his house, simply left his coat out for the man, hoping he would take it and not feel empty-handed, offering warmth instead of judgment. His intention wasn't to reward theft, but to offer compassion, even in a difficult and unexpected situation, seeing the humanity in another. Historians still debate whether the thief eventually returned the coat, perhaps touched by such unexpected generosity, or if he just got a free jacket. It suggests a radical approach to intention, extending it even to those who might outwardly harm you, seeing beyond the immediate act. Ultimately, Both paths guide you to a fundamental truth. While the external world may seem chaotic and uncontrollable, a swirling vortex of events, your internal compass, guided by your intention, remains firmly within your grasp, unwavering and true. By aligning your will with virtue, with reason, and with a deep understanding of cause and effect, you begin to steer your karmic ship through the roughest waters, not by commanding the waves to subside, but by mastering your own rudder, by choosing your direction with conscious intent. You are becoming a conscious participant in your destiny, not a mere passenger tossed about by circumstance, but a skilled navigator. It's like knowing you can't stop the sun from setting, but you can choose to appreciate the stunning colors of the sky, embracing the beauty of what is. The Stoics would often engage in daily reflection, reviewing their actions and, more importantly, their underlying intentions, seeking to refine their moral compass with meticulous care. They weren't just journaling, they were performing daily maintenance on their souls, a kind of internal oil change and tune-up, ensuring everything ran smoothly. Historians still debate whether these daily reflections ever led to moments of intense self-criticism or simply reinforced their already robust sense of self-mastery and inner calm. This consistent, deliberate focus on internal states is what empowers you to truly control your karma, not by manipulating external outcomes, but by perfecting the very source of your actions, your own conscious will. As your mind settles deeper into this exploration, you encounter another cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, the tranquil acceptance of external events. This isn't about passive resignation, nor a defeatist surrender, but an active, conscious decision to acknowledge reality as it is, rather than as you wish it to be or as you feel it should be. Imagine a mighty river flowing ceaselessly towards the sea. You can build a dam, but the river, with its immense and indifferent power, will eventually find a way around or over it, continuing its journey. The wise approach, for the Stoic, is to learn to navigate the river's currents, understanding its unyielding, natural force and adapting to it. This aligns beautifully with the broader karmic understanding that certain circumstances, born of past actions or the grand, intricate tapestry of existence, are simply presented to you as given facts, unalterable in the moment. Ancient Hindu scriptures, particularly the Bhagavad Gita, often speak of performing actions without attachment to their fruits, echoing this very sentiment of accepting outcomes beyond your direct control and focusing on the act itself. There's a fascinating historical account, though perhaps embellished by time, of a Buddhist monk who, when confronted by bandits demanding his few possessions, simply offered them what he had with a calm smile, understanding that the event was unfolding as it must and his only true control was his response to it. Historians still debate whether this level of non-resistance was born of fear, profound wisdom, or simply a very practical understanding of the stark odds he faced. It highlights a common thread across ancient wisdom traditions, recognizing the limits of your power over the external world. For the Stoics, the concept of amor fati, or love of fate, wasn't just a poetic ideal to be admired, but a practical, daily discipline to be cultivated. It meant embracing everything that happens, not just the good fortune that brings comfort, but also the challenges, the misfortunes, even the painful adversities, as necessary components of the grand, logical design of the universe. You might feel a profound peace begin to wash over you as you contemplate this, a liberating release from the constant, exhausting struggle against reality, against what is. It's like discovering that the rainy day you dreaded is actually perfect for curling up with a good book and a warm cup of tea. The external event didn't change its nature, but your internal appreciation of it and your response certainly did. Did you know that the Stoic philosopher Chrysippus was said to have died from laughing too hard at giving his donkey wine and seeing it try to eat figs? It's a rather undignified, almost comical, end for such a profound philosopher, but it certainly suggests a keen appreciation for life's absurdities and an unshakable acceptance of whatever comes, even his own demise. Historians still debate whether this story is literal truth or a colorful metaphor crafted to illustrate the Stoic principle of embracing life's unexpected turns with good humor. Regardless, it underscores the Stoic willingness to find even in death, or its comical prelude, a kind of profound acceptance. This serene gaze upon external events is crucial for truly gaining control over your karma. If you constantly rail against what is beyond your influence, if you spend your days lamenting what cannot be changed, you expend vital energy, create immense inner turmoil, and essentially generate negative karmic ripples of frustration, anger, and resentment. Instead, by acknowledging and accepting, by simply saying this is, you preserve your inner tranquility and free up your will to focus on what you can control, your judgment, your attitude, and your immediate response. You are learning to distinguish between the script of life, which is largely written for you, and your performance within it, which is entirely your masterpiece. A little-known fact is that many Stoics practiced a form of cognitive reframing, where they would consciously reevaluate seemingly negative events, not denying their discomfort, but actively seeking the hidden opportunities or valuable lessons within them. Imagine losing your keys and immediately thinking, well, this is an excellent opportunity to practice patience and hone my problem-solving skills. It sounds a bit like an overly optimistic self-help guru, but it's remarkably effective in shifting your internal state. Historians still debate whether this reframing was always genuinely felt or sometimes just a very sophisticated form of self-delusion, a mental trick to maintain composure. Nevertheless, it's about turning a perceived setback into a profound philosophical exercise, a powerful form of mental alchemy. The profound beauty of this Stoic perspective lies in its radical empowerment. By refusing to be disturbed, rattled, or emotionally hijacked by things outside your control, you effectively rob them of their power over you, disarming their potential to cause suffering. Your happiness, your peace of mind, your very sense of well-being are no longer contingent on fleeting external circumstances, on the whims of fortune, but become entirely internal, residing securely within your own mental fortress. This, in a karmic sense, prevents you from creating chains of suffering rooted in external attachment and emotional reactivity. It's like building a sturdy, impenetrable house with a perfectly sealed roof. No matter how hard the storm rages outside, no matter how much it rains, your interior remains perfectly dry and secure. The ancient concept of niyama in yoga philosophy, which includes principles like santosha contentment and tapas disciplined effort, also emphasizes finding peace regardless of external conditions, suggesting a universal human quest for inner steadiness. There's an intriguing tale of a medieval ascetic who lived happily in a humble cave with nothing but a begging bowl, seemingly undisturbed by harsh storms or devastating famine simply because his inner state was unshakable and his desires were minimal. Historians still debate whether such extreme detachment was truly sustainable for extended periods or if he occasionally snuck out for a decent meal and a warmer blanket. Nevertheless, it strongly suggests that true contentment stems from within, independent of possessions or external comfort. Ultimately, your ability to observe external events with a tranquil mind, neither craving what you don't have nor resisting what you do have or what happens, the profound act of karmic mastery, a testament to your growing inner strength. It means understanding that life will always present you with challenges, with unexpected twists and turns, with moments of discomfort, but your fundamental serenity does not have to be disturbed by them. You become like a still, clear pool reflecting the sky, unruffled by the clouds that pass overhead, simply mirroring them without judgment. It's about becoming emotionally Teflon-coated, where worries and frustrations just slide right off, unable to stick. The Stoics would often remind themselves, with quiet conviction, some things are up to us, and some things are not. This simple mantra, repeated daily as a guiding principle, was their anchor in a turbulent world, a constant reaffirmation of where their true power lay, of the boundaries of their influence. Historians still debate whether this repetition ever became monotonous for them, a rote exercise, or if its profound truth only deepened with each utterance, leading to ever greater clarity. This consistent, deliberate focus on internal states on the dichotomy of control is what empowers you to truly control your karma, not by forcing the world to bend to your will, but by perfecting your will to align with the world, finding a deep and abiding peace in the inevitable majestic flow of existence. As you continue to surrender to the rhythm of this narrative, you arrive at another profound Stoic principle that harmonizes beautifully with the ancient concept of karma, embracing fate and observing the cosmic dance with an unruffled spirit. This isn't about blind submission or a lack of personal agency. Rather, it's a sophisticated understanding that the universe operates according to immutable laws, and true wisdom lies in aligning your will with these larger forces, much like a seasoned sailor works with the currents rather than against them. You are beginning to see that the world isn't just a collection of random events, but a grand, interconnected system, a living, breathing entity where every action, every consequence, plays its part. Ancient Vedic texts often describe Rita, a cosmic order or universal law that governs everything from the seasons to moral conduct, subtly hinting at a natural alignment that transcends individual desires. There is a curious legend that the mythical sages of old could actually hear the subtle vibrations of Rita, guiding their every decision, almost like having a direct line to the universe's master plan. Historians still debate whether this was a literal auditory experience or a metaphorical representation of profound intuition. It's almost like trying to argue with gravity. You can jump all you want, but you'll eventually come back down. For the Stoics, embracing fate was inextricably linked to the idea of living in accordance with nature, not just physical nature, but human nature, which they believed was inherently rational and social. When you act virtuously, you are not just being good. You are acting in harmony with the very structure of the cosmos, and your actions naturally produce beneficial ripples. You might feel a deep resonance within you, a sense of rightness that transcends mere human logic, connecting you to something vast and timeless. Think of it like a river flowing naturally downhill. It's not resisting its path, and in doing so, it effortlessly carves beautiful valleys. Did you know that some Stoic philosophers, notably Cleanthes, would actually compose hymns to Zeus not as worship of a deity, but as an allegorical expression of their deep respect for the rational order of the universe, equating divine will with cosmic law? It's a bit like a modern physicist writing a love song to the laws of thermodynamics. Sounds nerdy, but incredibly profound. Historians still debate whether these hymns were truly heartfelt devotion or more of a philosophical exercise in personifying universal principles. Regardless, it underscores their profound commitment to recognizing and aligning with the overarching patterns of existence. This radical acceptance of what is, of the unfolding of the cosmic dance, serves as a powerful antidote to suffering and a direct pathway to controlling your karma. When you stop fighting against the inevitable and instead find peace within its unfolding, you eliminate the negative karmic seeds of resistance and frustration. You free up your internal energy to act constructively and virtuously, regardless of external circumstances. You are no longer merely reacting to the world, but consciously participating in its grand design, your actions flowing effortlessly from a place of inner peace. A little-known fact is that some Stoic practices involve mentally visualizing the grand cosmic perspective, seeing yourself as a tiny, yet significant, part of an infinite universe, to diminish the perceived importance of personal misfortunes and foster a sense of serene belonging. Imagine zooming out from your current worries to the scale of galaxies. Suddenly, your parking ticket doesn't seem quite so catastrophic. Historians still debate whether this cosmic perspective sometimes led to a feeling of existential dread, or if it was consistently a source of profound calm. It's about shifting your viewpoint to see the larger patterns at play. The intricate connection between embracing fate and karmic influence becomes clear. By accepting the flow of events, you cultivate an inner state of serenity that allows you to respond from a place of wisdom rather than reactivity. This conscious, virtuous response then generates positive karmic ripples, creating a virtuous cycle. You are, in essence, becoming a conduit for the universe's own benevolent order. It's like tending a garden where you understand the seasons. You don't fight the winter, but prepare for spring, knowing the natural cycle will bring new growth. There's an intriguing story from ancient China about a Taoist master who, when asked about his secret to happiness, simply replied, "When I'm hungry, I eat. When I'm tired, I sleep." His profound acceptance of the natural rhythms of life, without resistance or complication, allowed him to live in perfect harmony. Historians still debate whether his diet was consistently nutritious or if he occasionally indulged in a midnight snack. This radical simplicity and alignment with natural flow reflect a universal truth about finding peace by letting go of control over the uncontrollable. Ultimately, your journey to control over karma like a Stoic hinges on this deep understanding. True freedom is found in bending the world to your will, but in bending your will to align with the world's natural rational order. By embracing fate, by loving everything that happens, a necessary part of the whole, you transcend the petty struggles of individual desires and become an active, conscious participant in the cosmic dance. You are no longer tossed about by the whims of fortune, but flow gracefully with the current, your actions harmonious and your spirit serene. It's about being like a tree that sways with the wind, rather than breaking against it, rooted firmly in the earth. The Stoics often concluded their daily reflections by affirming their acceptance of the day's events, whatever they might have been, and their intention to act virtuously in the face of tomorrow's uncertainties. This was their nightly ritual, a quiet reaffirmation of their place in the grand scheme. Historians still debate whether this nightly affirmation ever felt repetitive or if its profound truth only deepened with each passing day. This profound alignment with the inherent order of existence is the ultimate secret to mastering your karmic journey, finding unwavering peace amidst the ever-unfolding story of life. As the soft whispers of ancient wisdom continue to envelop you, guiding you deeper into the night's tranquil expanse, we arrive at a particularly liberating Stoic concept: dispassion's calm, and the understanding that this inner peace is the true cost of freedom. This isn't about becoming cold or emotionless, but about cultivating a serene detachment from external outcomes and desires, allowing you to act with clarity and purpose, unburdened by fear or craving. Imagine a perfectly still lake reflecting the sky. Even as storms rage overhead, the deep waters remain undisturbed. Your emotional tranquility, in this view, becomes an unassailable fortress. Ancient Buddhist teachings frequently emphasize upekkha, or equanimity, a state of mind that remains balanced and serene in the face of all life's vicissitudes, recognizing impermanence and non-attachment. There's a fascinating, almost paradoxical story from the time of the Buddha where a group of monks, after meditating on their own corpses, achieved such profound dispassion that they were immune to the fear of death itself, walking among plagues without a flicker of concern. Historians still debate whether such extreme mental fortitude was truly attainable or merely an inspiring ideal. It highlights the profound connection between inner calm and the ability to transcend worldly fears. For the Stoics, cultivating dispassion was a lifelong endeavor, a constant refinement of their internal landscape. They understood that desires and aversions, particularly those tied to things outside their control, were the primary sources of human suffering. By systematically examining these attachments and choosing to relinquish their hold, they achieved a profound inner liberty. You might feel a gentle loosening in your chest, a sense of relief as you contemplate shedding the weight of constant wanting and fearing. It's like clearing out a cluttered attic in your mind. Suddenly, there's so much more space to breathe. Did you know that Epictetus, the former slave, taught that even physical torture could not truly harm a person who had achieved perfect dispassion, because their true self resided in their judgments and intentions, which remained untouched? It sounds like a philosophical superpower, far more useful than being able to fly, especially if you live in a world with Roman emperors. Historians still debate whether any Stoic truly endured such extremities without internal flinching, or if this was the ultimate, aspirational ideal. Regardless, It underscores the radical claim that true freedom is an internal state, independent of any external circumstance. This practice of dispassion is absolutely vital for managing your karmic trajectory. Every attachment, every strong aversion, creates a powerful emotional charge that can pull you off course, leading to actions driven by impulse rather than reason. By cultivating a calm, detached awareness, you gain the space to respond wisely to life's challenges, generating positive karma through virtuous action rather than reactive turmoil. You are learning to observe your emotions without being consumed by them, like watching clouds pass across the sky without being swept away by the wind. A little-known fact is that some Stoic exercises involve consciously imagining the loss of loved ones or possessions, not to be morbid, but to practice the emotional resilience and dispassion that would allow them to face such realities with dignity should they occur. Imagine preparing for a bad breakup by mentally rehearsing your calm, rational response beforehand. It's intense, but probably better than ugly crying into a pint of ice cream. Historians still debate whether these grim visualizations ever truly prepared them for real loss or simply amplified their anxieties. It's about building mental fortitude before the storm hits. The true freedom that comes from dispassion is not merely the absence of suffering, but the ability to act from a place of pure reason and virtue, untainted by external pressures. This profound inner calm allows your actions to be truly selfless, truly aligned with the good, thus generating the highest form of beneficial karma. You become a clear channel, undistorted by personal desires or fears. It's like a perfectly tuned instrument. Its music flows effortlessly and purely. The ancient concept of Viraja in Hinduism and yoga also speaks to this non-attachment, not as a rejection of the world, but as a release from the chains of desire, allowing one to engage with life more fully and joyously. There's an intriguing tale of a medieval Indian king who, after a spiritual awakening, distributed all his wealth to the poor, finding greater joy in his newfound simplicity and dispassion than in all his former riches. Historians still debate whether his ministers were entirely pleased with this sudden shift in royal policy. It suggests that true richness lies not in what you accumulate, but in what you are willing to release. Ultimately, your journey towards control over karma like a Stoic finds its profound liberation in the practice of dispassion as calm. It's the realization that while you cannot always control the events that unfold around you, you can absolutely control your internal reaction to them, your emotional response, and the attachment you allow them to have on your peace of mind. By mastering your desires and aversions, you gain a quiet dominion over your own happiness, making it independent of the world's unpredictable dance. You are building an inner sanctuary, a place of unwavering calm that no external storm can penetrate. It's like learning to meditate in the middle of a bustling city square. The noise is still there, but it no longer disturbs your inner quiet. The Stoics often spoke of ataraxia, a state of unshakable tranquility, as the ultimate goal, a direct result of this disciplined dispassion. This was their North Star, the beacon guiding their every practice and thought. Historians still debate whether any Stoic ever truly achieved perfect ataraxia, or if it remained a beautiful, elusive ideal. Nevertheless, this relentless pursuit of inner calm, cultivated through the practice of dispassion, is what truly sets you free, allowing you to shape your karmic destiny with unwavering serenity and purpose. As you continue your journey deeper into the tranquil depths of Stoic wisdom, you encounter the radiant guiding light of virtue's path, understanding it not merely as a moral code, but as an inner compass that intrinsically aligns your actions with the benevolent flow of karma. For the Stoics, virtue was the highest good, the only true good, encompassing wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. These weren't abstract ideals, but practical skills to be honed daily, shaping your very being. Imagine a master artisan, meticulously crafting each stroke, each chisel blow, guided by unwavering vision of perfection. Your virtuous actions are these strokes, shaping the masterpiece of your life. Ancient Chinese philosophy, particularly Confucianism, similarly emphasized benevolence and propriety as fundamental virtues, believing that cultivating these qualities naturally led to societal harmony and personal well-being. There's a fascinating historical anecdote about Confucius himself, who, when asked about the secret to a good life, simply replied, "Do not do to others what you do not want done to yourself," a timeless echo across cultures. Historians still debate whether his humility truly reflected his public persona or if he occasionally enjoyed a good argument. It highlights a universal human quest for ethical living as the bedrock of a meaningful existence. For the Stoics, living a virtuous life was synonymous with living in accordance with reason and nature. They believed that human beings, uniquely endowed with rationality, had a moral duty to use this faculty to understand the world and act in harmony with its universal laws. This alignment wasn't just about feeling good. It was about doing good, actively participating in the cosmic order. You might feel a profound sense of purpose begin to stir within you, a realization that your actions hold a deeper significance than mere personal gain or fleeting pleasure. It's like discovering that the small act of planting a tree contributes to a vast forest, creating shade and life for generations to come. Did you know that Seneca the Younger, despite his immense wealth and political influence, actively practiced voluntary poverty and limited his luxuries not out of penance, but to train his resolve and reinforce his commitment to virtuous living to avoid becoming soft? It's a bit like a billionaire choosing to live in a tiny house to better appreciate simplicity. Perhaps a bit extreme, but certainly memorable. Historians still debate whether his aristocratic background ever truly allowed him to fully experience the hardships he philosophized about. This deliberate cultivation of inner strength, regardless of external circumstances, was central to their pursuit of virtue. The deep connection between virtuous path and the control of karma is elegantly simple. Actions born of true virtue inherently generate positive karmic outcomes. When you act with wisdom, you make sound judgments. With justice, you foster fairness. With courage, you overcome obstacles. And with temperance, you maintain balance. These actions naturally lead to beneficial consequences for yourself and others, creating a virtuous cycle. You are, in essence, becoming a wellspring of good, where every outflow enriches the surrounding landscape. A little-known fact is that the Stoics categorized virtues into specific domains, often linking them to practical exercises. For instance, courage wasn't just about facing battle, but about facing your fears in daily life, like public speaking or difficult conversations. Imagine a Roman senator practicing his courage face in the mirror before a tough debate. It's both earnest and a little amusing. Historians still debate whether this granular approach to virtue made it more accessible or overly prescriptive. It suggests that virtue was not an abstract concept, but a set of tangible skills to be mastered through diligent effort. This relentless pursuit of virtue is your most powerful tool in shaping your karmic destiny. It means focusing not on external rewards or punishments, but on the purity of your actions, understanding that true fulfillment arises from living in alignment with your highest self. You learn to trust that, when you act virtuously, the right consequences will naturally follow. Much like a well-tended garden naturally yields abundant fruit. It's like investing in high-quality seeds and rich soil, knowing that the harvest will inevitably be bountiful. The ancient Indian concept of dharma, often translated as righteous conduct or moral duty, closely mirrors the Stoic emphasis on virtue as a universal law of right living, leading to a harmonious existence. There's an intriguing tale of the legendary King Janaka of ancient India, who despite his royal duties lived like a detached sage, performing his actions with complete adherence to dharma, unconcerned with the outcomes, a king truly ruling his inner kingdom. Historians still debate whether his subjects found his detached demeanor inspiring or simply eccentric. It speaks to the idea that true power lies in moral integrity, regardless of one's external role. Ultimately, your journey towards control over karma, like a Stoic, finds its profound guidance in walking virtue's path. It is the recognition that your character, forged through consistent virtuous action, is your most valuable possession, influencing every ripple of consequence in your life. By choosing wisdom over folly, justice over injustice, courage over cowardice, and temperance over excess, you actively sculpt your karmic future, not through manipulation, but through alignment with the fundamental good. You become a living embodiment of the universal order, a beacon of clarity and purpose. It's about being like a perfectly balanced gyroscope, spinning steadily and true, unaffected by external nudges. The Stoics often concluded their day by reflecting on how they had applied the virtues, seeking to identify areas for improvement, like a conscientious craftsman refining their tools. This daily self-assessment was not about judgment, but about continuous growth, a quiet commitment to excellence. Historians still debate whether this constant self-critique ever led to obsessive perfectionism, or if it fostered a healthy sense of ongoing development. This unwavering commitment to virtue, understood as a practical, actionable path, is your most reliable guide on the intricate journey of karma, ensuring that your every step contributes to a life of profound peace and enduring fulfillment. As you continue to absorb the serene cadence of this ancient wisdom, you encounter the profound tranquility that arises from acceptance's grace and inner stillness so quiet, it hums with the clarity of the present moment. It is not silence as absence, but silence as presence, a state where nothing is missing. You begin to realize how acceptance lightens the burdens you carry, how it liberates your spirit to navigate the subtle, intricate currents of karma. This isn't surrender or weakness, it's the profound strength of seeing reality clearly and choosing not to turn away. Not resignation, but a luminous presence of mind. Imagine standing barefoot on a shore, the sand cool beneath your feet, watching the waves rise and fall in perfect rhythm. You don't resist them, you breathe with them. You recognize their rhythm is not yours to control, but yours to understand. And from that understanding, peace is born not outside of time, but within it. Your peace, in this light, doesn't come from escaping the world, but from ceasing to resist its natural tides. It's the grace of no longer arguing with the present moment. Ancient Buddhist teachings echo this truth through dukkha, the suffering born of clinging, of resisting impermanence. To suffer, in this view, is to struggle with the truth that everything changes. There's a poignant historical image of a Buddhist master who, when asked to define suffering, simply pointed to a person holding their breath underwater. The metaphor is elegant and jarring. The tighter you cling, the more you suffocate. Historians still debate whether the gesture was meant literally or as a teaching parable. Either way, it reveals a powerful truth. Suffering often arises not from what is, but from the mind's refusal to let is be enough. In letting go of that refusal, you make room for a deeper kind of freedom, not freedom from reality, but within it. For the Stoics, acceptance was never passive. It was an active, courageous engagement with truth, what they called living in accordance with nature. This meant living with reason, with clarity, and with composure. They taught that peace comes from knowing what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your choices, and releasing the illusion that everything else is yours to command. External events, the behavior of others, the winds of fate, these are wild horses, not reins you hold. You might feel a gentle loosening in your grip, a quiet shift, as you stop wrestling with what was never yours to tame. Like dropping a pebble you've been clutching all day, your hand opens, and with it, your mind. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself in meditations to welcome even adversity as part of nature's plan. He saw the universe as a vast, intelligent whole and his role in it not as controller, but as participant, a single thread in a cosmic tapestry. Think of it like a modern executive dealing calmly with a disruptive colleague, not because they were never irritated, but because they've stopped expecting the world to conform to their preferences. Just another Tuesday, they say, choosing serenity over reaction. Historians still wonder whether Marcus Aurelius ever secretly wished for a more compliant senator, if his writing masked hidden frustrations. Either way, his reflections reveal a mind striving for inner freedom, even in the chaos of empire. This is Stoic sovereignty, not the power to change the world, but the strength to remain unshaken when it doesn't. It's a shift from domination to discernment, from controlling life to dancing with it. You're no longer a warrior in resistance, but a wise steward of your own responses. The battlefield becomes a garden when you stop swinging your sword. This deep practice of acceptance is not just Stoic or Buddhist, it is human. It is essential for mastering your karmic journey with both grace and grounded strength. When you resist reality, when you lament what was lost, or chase what cannot be, you stir up inner storms, and those storms have karmic weight. Thoughts become habits, habits become character. Character shapes destiny, but when you embrace what is, even the painful or uncertain, you clear the path for purposeful, intentional action. You become a quiet alchemist, turning adversity into virtue. The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, imagining adversity to prepare the soul, not to wallow, but to train the mind to say, if this comes, I will not collapse. Imagine preparing for a delayed flight by planting joy into that pause, perhaps a book, a moment of stillness, even a nap. Historians still debate whether this Stoic method bred courage or a very detailed kind of worrying. But the intent was clear, to meet life prepared, not paranoid. Acceptance lightens your burdens because it puts you in rhythm with the nature of things. When you stop resisting the current, your movements become more graceful. Your actions cost less. You become efficient not through speed, but through harmony. Karma flows from intention, and when intention is calm, action becomes aligned. It's like trying to push a heavy door that opens inward. Once you understand how it moves, effort becomes elegance. In Karma Yoga, this principle is foundational. Act well, but let go of the result. Do what you must, but do not demand reward. There's a charming tale of a village elder whose only ox ran away. The villagers wailed, but he simply said, "Maybe good, maybe bad." Days later, the ox returned with a wild horse. Historians still wonder, was he wise or just blessed with good livestock? But the story holds a simple truth. Don't rush to label the moment. Its meaning often takes time to unfold. Ultimately, your journey toward karmic mastery, like a Stoic, is not about perfection, but presence. External events will always arrive, some welcome, some not, but your internal response remains yours to shape. Acceptance is not giving up, it is rising to meet the world as it is, without illusion. You become like a tree with roots deep in the soil of wisdom, bending in the wind, but never breaking. This is the power of flexible strength, resilience that doesn't harden, but listens. The Stoics called this state apatheia, not cold indifference, but radiant, rational equanimity, a soul undisturbed by what it cannot change. Historians still debate whether anyone ever truly reached apatheia, or whether it was more star than destination, but its light is guiding nonetheless. When you choose each day to say yes to what is, to accept, to respond, to move without bitterness, you step into the sacred art of shaping your karma, not with force, but with grace. And that, perhaps, is the greatest power of all. As the night deepens, carrying you further into this contemplative space, we arrive at the profound importance of the present moment, understanding it as the sole arena for mindful action and the true crucible of your karmic unfolding. For both karmic philosophy and Stoic practice, the past is gone, the future is uncertain, and only the now exists as the point of genuine power. Imagine a sculptor with a block of clay. They can only shape the clay that is currently in their hands, not the clay that was or the clay that will be. Your conscious presence in the present moment is that sculptor's focus, allowing you to imbue every action with purpose and intention. Ancient Buddhist meditation practices, particularly Vipassana, emphasize an intense, non-judgmental awareness of the present moment, observing sensations, thoughts, and emotions as they arise and pass away, without clinging. There's a historical account of a Zen master who, when asked the secret to enlightenment, simply replied, "When I eat, I eat. When I sleep, I sleep." Historians still debate whether his students found this answer profoundly simple or utterly frustrating. It highlights a universal truth. true living happens now. For the Stoics, mindfulness of the present moment was a fundamental practice for living a virtuous life. They understood that anxiety about the future and regret about the past were immense drains on mental energy, pulling you away from the only realm where you truly have control, your immediate thoughts and actions. By focusing entirely on the task at hand, on the decision before you, they ensured that their actions were rational, intentional, and aligned with virtue. You might feel a gentle pull back from the endless internal chatter, a soothing reminder that you are here, right now, and that is enough. It's like suddenly noticing the warmth of your blanket or the gentle hum of the fan, details you might have missed when lost in thought. Did you know that Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself in his meditations that nothing happens to anyone that he is not fitted by nature to bear, grounding himself in the present moment's capacity to handle its own challenges? It's a bit like a personal pep talk for emperors, reminding himself he's got this. Historians still debate whether this self-affirmation was always effective in the face of genuine imperial crises. This steadfast focus on the immediate, coupled with confidence in one's own faculties, was their anchor. The profound significance of acting in the present moment for your karmic journey cannot be overstated. Every conscious choice, every mindful response, every intention held now creates the seeds of future experiences. If you are distracted by past grievances or future anxieties, your actions become less intentional, more reactive, potentially generating less desirable karmic ripples. By cultivating full presence, you ensure that every act is imbued with clarity and virtue, setting the stage for positive outcomes. You are becoming a master gardener, tending to each seed with meticulous care, knowing that the quality of the present planting determines the future harvest. A little-known fact is that some Stoic exercises involve performing mundane tasks with complete focus, such as walking or eating, to train their attention and prevent their minds from wandering. Imagine Epictetus meticulously counting his grapes, not out of hunger, but as a meditation on present attention. It sounds a bit quirky, but it's a powerful mental discipline. Historians still debate whether they ever found these exercises tedious or if they genuinely transform daily life into a continuous practice. It's about turning the ordinary into an opportunity for profound awareness. The true power that arises from inhabiting the present moment is the ability to break free from unhelpful patterns and to consciously choose a new path. It allows you to respond to each situation freshly, without the baggage of past conditioning or on the pool of future expectations. This freedom from past-future entanglement is a direct source of positive karma, as your actions become less driven by unconscious reactions and more by deliberate, virtuous choices. You are, in essence, rewriting your karmic script with every mindful breath. It's like realizing you don't have to replay the same old song on repeat. You can choose a new melody right now. The ancient Hindu concept of dhyana meditation emphasizes focusing the mind on a single point in the present, leading to deeper states of awareness and inner peace, dissolving the illusion of time. There's an intriguing tale of a famous yogi who could spend days in deep meditation, seemingly unaware of the passage of time, existing purely in the eternal now. Historians still debate whether he occasionally wondered what was for dinner. It speaks to the incredible capacity of the human mind to transcend ordinary perception when fully immersed in the present. Ultimately, your journey towards control over karma like a Stoic finds its vibrant epicenter in the present moment. It is the realization that your power to shape your destiny, to sow positive karmic seeds, resides exclusively in your conscious engagement with what is happening right now. By letting go of the past and releasing the grip of the future, you free your mind to act with clarity, intention, and virtue, ensuring that every choice contributes to a life of peace and profound purpose. You become like a master archer, perfectly focused on the target before you, knowing that only this unwavering present focus will send the arrow true. It's about being fully alive, fully engaged, in the only moment that truly exists. The Stoics often concluded their daily reflections by recommitting to living fully in the present, acknowledging that today is all that matters. This consistent return to the now was their secret weapon against life's distractions, a constant grounding in reality. Historians still debate whether this relentless focus on the present ever made them seem aloof or if it simply made them exceptionally calm under pressure. This unwavering commitment to mindful action in the present is your most reliable compass on the intricate journey of karma, ensuring that your every step is imbued with purpose and leads to lasting serenity. As the quiet narrative gently guides you onward, you arrive at a profound truth deeply embraced by both Stoicism and karmic philosophy, the graceful dance with impermanence, understanding that everything in existence is in a constant state of flux. This isn't a somber realization, but a liberating one, freeing you from the futile attempt to cling to what cannot be held. Imagine watching the clouds drift across the moonlit sky. They are beautiful, ever-changing, and attempting to grasp one would be absurd. Your peace, in this light, arises from accepting the ephemeral nature of all things, including your own experiences and emotions. Ancient Buddhist teachings are particularly centered on anicca, the doctrine of impermanence, which posits that all conditioned phenomena are transient, leading to suffering when we resist this fundamental truth. There's a poignant historical account of the Buddha's final words: "All conditioned things are subject to decay. Strive with diligence," a powerful reminder that even he, the enlightened one, was subject to the universal law of impermanence. Historians still debate whether his disciples fully grasped the profundity of this final message in that moment of grief. It highlights a core spiritual reality: everything changes. For the Stoics, embracing impermanence was a key practice for cultivating inner tranquility. They understood that attachment to external things, wealth, reputation, even loved ones, was a direct path to suffering, because these things are, by their very nature, transient and beyond our control. By mentally preparing for their eventual loss and recognizing their temporary nature, they sought to appreciate them without clinging, fostering a deeper, more resilient joy. You might feel a gentle breath of detachment pass through you, a subtle shift that allows you to cherish moments and people more fully, precisely because you know they are not yours to keep forever. It's like enjoying a beautiful sunset. You don't try to freeze it, you simply marvel at its fleeting beauty. Did you know that some Stoic exercises involved contemplating their own mortality? Not in a morbid way, but to imbue their lives with a sense of urgency and to prioritize what truly mattered: virtue and rational action. It's a bit like writing your own eulogy to ensure you reliving a life you'd be proud of, a rather intense form of daily motivation. Historians still debate whether this practice ever made them overly serious or if it simply sharpened their focus on life's true priorities. This profound reflection on transience was a tool for living more fully, not less. The deep connection between acknowledging impermanence and mastering your karmic journey lies in your ability to respond to change with grace rather than resistance. When you understand that everything arises and passes away, you are less likely to be swept away by external events, whether joyful or sorrowful. This allows your actions to flow from a place of calm wisdom, rather than reactive clinging or aversion, thereby generating purer, more beneficial karmic ripples. You are becoming like a wise old tree that knows to shed its leaves in autumn, trusting that spring will bring new growth. A little-known fact is that some Stoic philosophers, like Seneca, were particularly adept at finding lessons even in personal tragedies, seeing them as opportunities to practice resilience and reinforce their understanding of life's transient nature. Imagine experiencing a significant loss and immediately seeking the philosophical lesson within it, rather than spiraling into despair. It's a powerful, albeit challenging, approach. Historians still debate whether this philosophical fortitude was sometimes perceived as coldness by those around them. It's about transforming adversity into an opportunity for profound growth. The profound freedom that arises from embracing impermanence is the freedom from suffering caused by clinging. When you release your attachment to outcomes, possessions, and even identities, you lighten your karmic burden and open yourself to the natural flow of existence. This allows your actions to be truly selfless, truly in harmony with the universal order, generating positive karma that is pure and untainted by personal desire. You are becoming a vessel that allows life to flow through you, rather than trying to dam it up. It's like building a sand castle knowing the tide will eventually claim it. You enjoy the process of creation without attachment to its permanence. The ancient Chinese philosophy of Taoism, with its emphasis on wu-wei effortless action and living in harmony with the natural rhythm of the Tao, similarly encourages a profound acceptance of life's constantly changing nature. There's an intriguing tale of the legendary Taoist sage Zhuangzi, who after his wife died, was found singing and beating a drum, explaining that since she was returning to the great cycle of nature, there was no cause for sorrow. Historians still debate whether this was genuine serenity or a peculiar coping mechanism. It points to a radical acceptance of the natural cycles of life and death. Ultimately, your journey towards control over karma, like a Stoic, finds its deep peace in acknowledging impermanence. It is the realization that life is a dynamic, ever-unfolding process, and attempting to freeze any moment or cling to any possession is a futile exercise that only brings suffering. By consciously releasing your attachments and embracing the transient nature of all things, you gain an unwavering inner peace that allows you to navigate life's inevitable changes with grace, wisdom, and a profound sense of liberation. You become like a river flowing peacefully to the sea, adapting to every twist and turn without resistance. It's about building a mental framework that sees every ending as a new beginning, every loss as an opportunity for transformation. The Stoics often concluded their day by reflecting on the impermanence of all things, a practice that fortified their minds against the sting of loss and the lure of attachment. This constant awareness of life's fleeting nature was their shield against anxiety and their key to lasting tranquility. Historians still debate whether this daily contemplation ever became morbid or if it consistently deepened their appreciation for the preciousness of each fleeting moment. This profound acceptance of change is your most reliable companion on the intricate journey of karma, ensuring that your every step is imbued with enduring peace and clarity. As you journey further into the quiet contemplation of these profound ideas, you encounter the vital understanding of the community's web, recognizing that your personal karmic journey intrinsically woven into the larger tapestry of shared human experience. This isn't about isolated self-improvement, but about recognizing that we are all interconnected, like individual threads contributing to a grand, intricate fabric. Your actions, therefore, ripple outwards, affecting not just yourself but the collective whole, and vice versa. Imagine a single drop of rain falling into a pond. Its tiny impact creates concentric circles that eventually reach every shore. Your every interaction contributes to this vast, interconnected system. Ancient Hindu philosophy, particularly the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family, deeply emphasizes this universal kinship and the moral obligation to act for the well-being of all beings. There's a beautiful historical narrative that during the time of Ashoka the Great, the Buddhist emperor, he inscribed edicts throughout his vast empire advocating for compassion, mutual respect, and the welfare of all, demonstrating a profound commitment to the interconnectedness of society. Historians still debate whether his motivations were purely spiritual or also strategically political. It powerfully illustrates a belief that collective well-being is paramount. For the Stoics, the concept of being a citizen of the world cosmopolitanism was central to their understanding of virtue and their approach to life. They believed that human beings are naturally rational and social, and therefore, our duty extends beyond ourselves and our immediate family to the entire human race. Acting justly and benevolently towards others was not merely a choice, but a fundamental aspect of living in accordance with nature, generating universal harmony. You might feel a sense of expansive belonging, a quiet recognition that your individual struggles and joys are part of a much larger, shared narrative. It's like realizing you're not just a single star, but part of a magnificent constellation, contributing to its overall brilliance. Did you know that some Stoic philosophers, like Musonius Rufus, argued for the equality of men and women, and even slaves, in their capacity for virtue and rational thought, a radical notion for their time. It's a bit like advocating for universal human rights centuries before the term was even invented, truly ahead of their time. Historians still debate whether these progressive views were widely adopted by their contemporaries or remain niche philosophical ideals. This deep sense of universal brotherhood fueled their ethical commitment to collective well-being. The profound impact of recognizing the community's web on your karmic journey is that it shifts your focus from purely personal gain to the broader good. When your actions are guided by compassion, justice, and a sense of shared humanity, the karmic ripples you create are inherently positive and far-reaching, benefiting not just you but the entire collective. Conversely, self-serving or harmful actions inevitably create negative ripples that ultimately return to disturb the harmony, affecting everyone, including yourself. You are learning that the well-being of the whole is intricately tied to your own. A little-known fact is that some Stoic philosophers would actively engage in public service, not for personal glory, but out of a sense of civic duty and their commitment to improving the community's moral fabric. Imagine Seneca advising Emperor Nero, hoping to infuse Stoic principles into the very governance of the Roman Empire. A noble, though ultimately tragic, endeavor. Historians still debate whether his influence was truly impactful or largely overshadowed by the emperor's volatile nature. It underscores their belief in the practical application of philosophy for the betterment of society. The true freedom that arises from living within the community's web and acting for the common good is the liberation from ego-driven desires and the suffering they often entail. When your actions are rooted in a sense of universal interconnectedness, your motivations become pure, less self-centered, and therefore more aligned with positive karmic flow. This allows for a deeper sense of fulfillment and purpose, transcending fleeting individual pleasures. You are becoming a force for good in the world, a thread that strengthens the entire fabric. It's like knowing that contributing to a clean environment benefits everyone, not just yourself, creating a cleaner, healthier future. The ancient concept of metta, loving-kindness, in Buddhism emphasizes cultivating unconditional benevolence towards all beings, recognizing their inherent worth and fostering compassion for their suffering, leading to powerful positive karmic vibrations. There's an intriguing tale of a legendary Buddhist saint who could calm raging animals simply by emanating pure loving-kindness, demonstrating a profound power of positive intention extended universally. Historians still debate whether these stories are literal or symbolic of the transformative power of empathy. It points to a universal energy of goodwill that connects all living things. Ultimately, your journey towards control over karma like a Stoic finds its expansive meaning within the community's web. It is the realization that your individual destiny is not isolated, but intimately connected to the destinies of all others. By consciously acting with wisdom, justice, and benevolence towards your fellow human beings, you not only improve the world around you, but also cultivate a deep, lasting peace within yourself, ensuring that your karmic ripples are always beneficial. You become like a single, healthy cell contributing to the vitality of an entire organism, essential and interconnected. It's about being a conscious part of something much larger and more beautiful than yourself. The Stoics often concluded their day by reflecting on how their actions had served the greater good, seeking to identify opportunities to contribute more fully to the well-being of humanity. This consistent awareness of their role as citizens of the world was a powerful motivator for ethical action. Historians still debate whether this universal outlook sometimes led to a detachment from personal relationships or if it simply broadened their capacity for love and compassion. This profound understanding of human interconnectedness is your most reliable guide on the intricate journey of karma, ensuring that your every step contributes not just to your own peace, but to the harmony of the entire human family. As the night's calm settles more deeply around you, bringing a profound sense of inner stillness, you come face to face with a challenging yet deeply transformative Stoic insight, the purpose of suffering, understanding it not as random punishment, but as a crucible for growth and an opportunity to refine your character, profoundly influencing your karmic journey. This isn't about glorifying pain, but about recognizing that adversity, when faced with reason and courage, possesses an unparalleled capacity to strengthen the soul and deepen wisdom. Imagine a piece of raw iron, plunged into fire and hammered repeatedly. It emerges not broken, but transformed into resilient steel. Your challenges, in this light, become the very tools of your self-mastery. Ancient Indian spiritual traditions, particularly yoga and Buddhism, extensively explore the concept of tapas, or ascetic discipline, which involves embracing discomfort or challenge, a means of purify the mind and burning off negative karmic residue. There's a poignant historical account of Mahatma Gandhi, who, during his various periods of imprisonment, viewed his confinement not as a punishment, but as an opportunity for intensified self-reflection, writing, and spiritual discipline. Historians still debate whether his extreme self-control ever wavered in private moments. It powerfully illustrates the idea that even the harshest circumstances can be transformed into opportunities for profound growth. For the Stoics, encountering suffering was seen as an inevitable part of the human condition, a natural consequence of living in a world beyond their complete control. Their response, however, was revolutionary. Instead of lamenting it, they sought to understand its purpose, to extract wisdom and virtue from every hardship. They believed that true virtue was tested and forged in the fires of adversity, just as gold is purified in a furnace. You might feel a quiet resolve begin to solidify within you, a sense that you possess an inner strength capable of facing whatever life throws your way, transforming challenge into an advantage. It's like a seasoned athlete who welcomes tough training, knowing it builds endurance and resilience. Did you know that Epictetus, having been a slave and lived with a limp for most of his life, often used his personal experience of physical suffering to illustrate the power of the mind over external circumstances, viewing his body as merely a temporary vessel? It's a bit like a modern motivational speaker drawing profound lessons from their own past struggles, truly inspiring, if somewhat intense. Historians still debate whether his physical pain ever truly ceased to bother him, or if he simply perfected the art of philosophical endurance. This unwavering focus on internal fortitude, even amidst discomfort, was central to their philosophy. The profound connection between the purpose of suffering and your karmic journey is that your response to adversity determines the karmic ripples you generate. If you react with bitterness, anger, or despair, you create negative karma that perpetuates a cycle of unhappiness. However, if you face challenges with courage, acceptance, and a virtuous attitude, you transform them into opportunities for positive growth, purify your karma, and strengthening your character. You are becoming an active participant in your own evolution, using life's difficulties as stepping stones. A little-known fact is that some Stoic exercises involve premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, where they would mentally rehearse potential misfortunes and their rational, virtuous responses to them. Imagine preparing for a difficult conversation by not just anticipating what will be said, but by firmly deciding how you will react with calm and reason. It's a proactive approach to emotional resilience. Historians still debate whether this practice ever made them overly pessimistic or if it genuinely fostered an unshakable sense of preparedness. It's about turning the sting of potential adversity into a source of inner strength. The true freedom that arises from understanding the purpose of suffering is the liberation from victimhood and the empowerment to use every experience, no matter how challenging, for your ultimate benefit. When you see adversity as a teacher, as a test, as an opportunity to practice virtue, you cease to be a passive recipient of fate and become an active architect of your character and destiny. This allows for a deeper sense of peace and meaning, even amidst hardship, generating the most profound and beneficial karmic outcomes. You are becoming a seasoned climber, knowing that the steepest paths often lead to the most breathtaking views. It's like realizing that breaking a leg isn't just pain, but an opportunity to learn patience, rely on others, and strengthen other parts of your body. The ancient Hindu concept of prarabdha karma refers to the portion of past karma that is currently manifesting as present circumstances, including suffering, and is meant to be experienced and worked through. There's an intriguing tale of a medieval yogi who, upon facing extreme physical discomfort during intense meditation, simply accepted it as the burning off of old karma, finding a deeper sense of liberation in the process. Historians still debate whether his tolerance for pain was supernatural or simply a result of extraordinary mental discipline. It suggests that suffering, when viewed correctly, can be a path to freedom. Ultimately, your journey towards control over karma like a Stoic finds its resilience and profound wisdom in embracing the purpose of suffering. It is the powerful realization that while pain and difficulty are unavoidable aspects of life, your response to them is entirely within your control and determines their karmic impact. By facing adversity with courage, acceptance, and a commitment to virtue, you transform suffering into a catalyst for growth, purify your soul, and ensuring that every challenge contributes to a life of deeper peace, strength, and meaning. You become like a tree whose roots grow deeper with every storm, becoming more stable and enduring. It's about building a mental fortress that not only withstands the winds of misfortune, but uses them to become even stronger. The Stoics often concluded their day by reflecting on the challenges they had faced, viewing them as exercises for their character, a kind of spiritual workout. This consistent reinterpretation of hardship as an opportunity for growth was their key to resilience and their source of profound inner peace. Historians still debate whether this perspective sometimes led to a grim stoicism or if it fostered a genuinely joyful acceptance of life's full spectrum. This profound understanding of suffering, a refining fire, is your most reliable guide on the intricate journey of karma, ensuring that your every step is imbued with enduring purpose and leads to lasting serenity. As the night deepens, carrying you to the quieter, more profound realms of thought, you arrive at the Stoic's perspective on death's perspective, not as an end to be feared, but as the ultimate liberation and a powerful lens through which to live a life of profound meaning, deeply influencing your karmic path. This isn't about being morbid, but about using the awareness of mortality to clarify your values and prioritize what truly matters. Imagine gazing at a magnificent, ancient tree. You know it won't live forever, but that knowledge makes its present beauty all the more precious. Your life, in this light, gains vividness and urgency from the understanding of its finite nature. Ancient Egyptian philosophy, with its elaborate burial rituals and focus on the afterlife, similarly sought to prepare for death, viewing it as a transition rather than an absolute cessation. There's a historical account of Pharaoh Akhenaten, who uniquely for his time emphasized the fleeting nature of life and focused on the sun god Aten as the sole source of all existence, perhaps influenced by a profound awareness of mortality. Historians still debate whether his religious reforms were a genuine spiritual epiphany or a calculated political maneuver. It highlights a universal human preoccupation with our ultimate end. For the Stoics, contemplating death was a daily practice known as memento mori. Remember, you must die. This wasn't meant to induce fear, but to instill a sense of urgency for living virtuously and rationally in the present moment, without procrastination or attachment to external trivialities. They understood that every day was a gift, and every action an opportunity to align with wisdom. You might feel a quiet determination settle within you, a sense that now is the time to live fully, to embody your highest ideals, knowing that time is a precious, non-renewable resource. It's like realizing you only have a limited amount of paint for your masterpiece. You'd use every color wisely and deliberately. Did you know that Seneca the Younger explicitly advised reflecting on death every night not as a grim reminder, but as a way to detach from the day's worries and to live each day as if it were a complete lifetime in itself? It's a bit like a daily mental reset button, ensuring you don't carry yesterday's baggage into tomorrow. Historians still debate whether this nightly contemplation ever made him feel overly burdened by the weight of mortality. This consistent awareness of life's brevity served as a powerful motivator for purposeful living. The profound connection between taking death as perspective and mastering your karmic journey is that it forces you to prioritize what truly matters: virtue, character, and intentional action. When you recognize that all external possessions and achievements are transient, you are less likely to accumulate negative karma through greed, ambition, or attachment. Instead, you focus on cultivating the internal virtues that are yours to keep, even beyond this life, ensuring that your karmic legacy is one of goodness and wisdom. You are, in essence, crafting a legacy that transcends mere physicality, built on the timeless values of your character. A little-known fact is that some Stoic philosophers would often visit grave sites or contemplate ancient ruins, not to mourn, but to internalize the universal truth of human impermanence and the folly of seeking glory in fleeting things. Imagine Marcus Aurelius strolling through the Roman Forum, reflecting on the fallen empires and forgotten heroes, finding solace in the impermanence of all worldly power. Historians still debate whether these contemplations ever led to moments of melancholic reflection or if they consistently reinforce their sense of tranquility. It's about seeing the larger picture beyond individual life and death. The true liberation that arises from embracing death as perspective is the freedom from the most pervasive human fear, allowing you to live without anxiety and to act with unshakable courage. When death is viewed not as an enemy, but as a natural part of the cosmic cycle of transition into ultimate freedom, you are empowered to live fully without holding back, generating powerful positive karma through courageous and authentic living. You become like a bird soaring freely, unburdened by the fear of falling. It's like realizing that the finish line isn't scary, but simply the end of one leg of the race, leading to another. The ancient Buddhist concept of maranasati, or mindfulness of death, is a central practice that aims to overcome fear, attachment, and craving by constantly remembering the inevitability of one's own demise, leading to greater wisdom and compassion. There's an intriguing tale of a Thai forest monk who kept a human skull on his meditation cushion as a constant reminder of impermanence, using it to deepen his understanding of non-attachment. Historians still debate whether his living companions found this practice unnerving or profoundly inspiring. It powerfully illustrates how facing mortality can lead to profound spiritual awakening. Ultimately, your journey towards control over karma, like a Stoic, finds its sharpest focus and most profound meaning through death as perspective. It is the powerful realization that while your time here is finite, your capacity for virtue and wisdom is limitless, and these are the only true possessions you carry beyond this life. By consciously living each day as if it were your last, prioritizing kindness, courage, and rational action, you ensure that your karmic legacy is one of profound goodness, cultivated through deliberate choice and a fearless embrace of existence. You become like a star that burns brightly, its light illuminating the cosmos long after it is gone. It's about truly living each moment with purpose and intention, knowing that every breath is precious. The Stoics often spoke of dying well as the ultimate act of philosophical mastery, not fearing the end, but embracing it as a natural completion, a final act of virtue. This unwavering acceptance of mortality was their final, profound act of control over their karma, ensuring a serene departure. Historians still debate whether this philosophical bravery truly removed all fear, or if it simply offered a powerful framework for navigating the unknown. This profound understanding of life's natural cycle is your most reliable guide on the intricate journey of karma, ensuring that your every step is imbued with enduring purpose and leads to lasting serenity even in the face of the ultimate transition. As the night continues its gentle unfolding, carrying you deeper into this timeless wisdom, you encounter the practical heart of Stoicism, daily practice, understanding it not as a rigid routine, but as the relentless forging of inner strength and character, directly influencing your karmic path. This isn't about grand gestures, but about the consistent, quiet effort applied every moment, transforming theoretical understanding into lived experience. Imagine a blacksmith repeatedly hammering and heating raw metal. Each strike, though small, contributes to the creation of a strong, resilient tool. Your daily actions, in this light, become the strikes that forge your soul. Ancient yoga traditions similarly emphasize abhyasa, consistent practice, essential for mastering the mind and achieving spiritual liberation, recognizing that profound change comes from sustained effort, not intermittent bursts. There's a historical account of the famed yogi Patanjali, author of the Yoga Sutras, who emphasized that mastery comes from practice and dispassion, highlighting the consistent effort required to tame the fluctuations of the mind. Historians still debate whether his teachings were originally orally transmitted or meticulously written down from the start. It highlights a universal truth: discipline is the pathway to mastery. For the Stoics, daily practice encompassed a range of exercises designed to strengthen their reason, manage their emotions, and reinforce their commitment to virtue. This included journaling like Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, premeditation of evils, and mindful engagement with everyday tasks. They understood that virtue was a skill, and like any skill, it required constant repetition and refinement. You might feel a quiet sense of empowerment stirring within you, a realization that every single day offers countless opportunities to cultivate your inner world, to become the person you aspire to be. It's like building a strong muscle. You don't get it from one intense workout, but from consistent, daily effort. Did you know that some Stoic schools held public lectures and debates not just for intellectual stimulation, but as opportunities for students to practice their reasoned arguments and maintain composure under public scrutiny? It's a bit like a modern-day open mic night, but with more philosophy and fewer bad jokes. Historians still debate whether these public sessions were truly accessible to all or primarily for the elite. This constant engagement with their principles, both privately and publicly, was their path to mastery. The profound link between daily practice and your karmic journey is that every intentional, repeated action, particularly those aimed at self-improvement and virtuous conduct, accumulates positive karmic energy. It's not the occasional grand act, but the consistent commitment to mindfulness, acceptance, and ethical behavior that truly shapes your destiny. Small, consistent efforts compound over time, creating a powerful momentum towards a life of peace and wisdom. You are becoming a diligent gardener, watering and tending to your plants every day, knowing that this consistent care ensures a bountiful harvest. A little-known fact is that many Stoic teachers would assign their students specific daily homework assignments, like refraining from complaining for a full day, or practicing gratitude in challenging situations. Imagine being tasked with finding something positive in gridlock traffic. It's a mental exercise that truly tests your commitment. Historians still debate whether students always completed these assignments with enthusiasm, or if some resorted to creative excuses. It underscores the practical, hands-on nature of their philosophical training. The true strength that arises from consistent daily practice is the development of unshakable inner resilience. When you repeatedly choose reason over emotion, virtue over vice, and acceptance over resistance, you build a mental and emotional fortress that can withstand life's inevitable storms. This strength allows you to navigate the complexities of karma with grace, ensuring that your responses are always intentional and beneficial. You are becoming a seasoned captain, able to steer your ship through any tempest because you practiced in countless calm waters. It's like learning to play a musical instrument. The initial effort is hard, but with practice, the music flows effortlessly. The ancient concept of niyama in yoga philosophy, which includes daily observances like sattva purity, santosha contentment, and svadhyaya self-study, emphasizes consistent self-discipline as a path to inner purification and spiritual growth. There's an intriguing tale of a revered Buddhist monk who, having practiced walking meditation for decades, could walk for miles in perfect equanimity, his every step a testament to his consistent discipline. Historians still debate whether his feet ever got tired. It demonstrates the profound transformation possible through sustained, diligent effort. Ultimately, your journey towards control over karma, like a Stoic, finds its profound effectiveness in daily practice. It is the powerful realization that true change, true mastery over your inner world, and its karmic expressions, comes not from sudden epiphanies, but from the relentless, conscious choices you make, day after day. By consistently applying the principles of virtue, acceptance, and mindfulness to every moment, you gradually, but powerfully reshape your character, ensuring that your actions always lead to peace, wisdom, and profound fulfillment. You become like a steady river, carving a deeper, clearer path with every drop, every day. It's about building a life of purpose, one intentional moment at a time. The Stoics often spoke of their philosophy as a medicine for the soul, and like any medicine, it needed to be taken consistently to be effective. This unwavering commitment to continuous self-improvement was their secret to enduring serenity. Historians still debate whether this disciplined approach ever felt burdensome, or if its transformative effects made it a source of joy. This profound understanding of practice as the pathway to mastery is your most reliable guide on the intricate journey of karma, ensuring that your every step is imbued with enduring purpose and leads to lasting serenity. As the soft guiding current of this narrative carries you deeper, you arrive at the crucial realization of self-awareness, understanding it as a deep internal knowing that illuminates your inner workings and is absolutely essential for gaining control over your karmic path. This isn't about superficial introspection, but about a profound, honest gaze inward, identifying your impulses, judgments, and attachments with clarity and dispassion. Imagine a skilled cartographer mapping a complex terrain. You are mapping your own internal landscape, understanding its hidden valleys and soaring peaks. Your ability to see yourself clearly is the first step towards truly directing your life. Ancient Buddhist psychology, particularly the Abhidharma, delves meticulously into the nature of consciousness, mental factors, and the process of perception, all aimed at fostering profound self-awareness as the foundation for liberation. There's a fascinating historical account of the neti neti, not this practice from the Upanishads, where sages would systematically negate all external and internal identities. I am not my body, not my thoughts, to arrive at the pure unconditioned self, highlighting a profound pursuit of inner truth. Historians still debate whether this method ever led to existential crises before enlightenment. It emphasizes a universal quest for understanding one's true nature. For the Stoics, self-awareness was paramount, often referred to as knowing thyself from the Oracle of Delphi, a maxim they deeply embraced. They understood that most human suffering stemmed from false judgments and unconscious emotional reactions, which could only be identified and corrected through diligent introspection. Their daily practices involve meticulous examination of their thoughts, impulses, and responses, striving to align them with reason and virtue. You might feel a gentle invitation to turn your gaze inward, a quiet encouragement to observe your own mind with curiosity rather than judgment. It's like becoming your own best friend, understanding your quirks and gently guiding yourself towards growth. Did you know that Seneca the Younger famously advised a nightly examination of conscience where he would review his actions, words, and thoughts of the day, praising his virtues and acknowledging his errors, all in the service of greater self-awareness? It's a bit like a daily performance review for your soul, without the awkward HR meeting. Historians still debate whether this nightly ritual ever led to restless sleep or simply a profound sense of self-mastery. This consistent, honest self-assessment was their key to continuous improvement. The profound link between self-awareness and your karmic journey is that true change, and thus the ability to control your karmic destiny, can only arise from a clear understanding of your current patterns. Without knowing why you react in certain ways, what triggers your emotions, or where your attachments lie, you remain a slave to unconscious impulses, inadvertently creating negative karmic ripples. Self-awareness breaks this cycle, allowing you to choose your responses consciously and intentionally. You are becoming a skilled navigator, understanding the currents and hidden shoals of your own mind, charting a deliberate course. A little-known fact is that some Stoic teachers would encourage students to keep a vice list, detailing their personal weaknesses and the specific situations that triggered them, to consciously work on overcoming these patterns. Imagine meticulously documenting your moments of impatience or anger, not to shame yourself, but to systematically dismantle their power. Historians still debate whether this direct confrontation with one's flaws was always motivating or sometimes disheartening. It's about facing your inner demons with a flashlight and a plan, rather than hiding from them. The true power that arises from cultivating self-awareness is the capacity for deliberate self-correction and the radical freedom that comes from knowing you are no longer operating on autopilot. When you truly understand your inner landscape, you gain the ability to choose your actions from a place of reason and virtue, rather than being swept away by unexamined impulses. This conscious choice is the engine of positive karmic creation, ensuring that your every action is imbued with wisdom and intentionality. You are becoming the conscious artist of your own life, rather than a passive observer. It's like realizing you're holding the remote control to your own reactions, and you can change the channel whenever you choose. The ancient Hindu concept of Atmavikara, or self-inquiry, involves a deep, persistent questioning of the nature of the I or ego, aimed at transcending superficial identities and realizing the true self, leading to ultimate liberation from karmic cycles. There's an intriguing tale of the sage Ramana Maharshi, who attained profound realization simply by relentlessly asking, "Who am I?" until all false identities dissolved, revealing the pure consciousness beneath. Historians still debate whether his quiet demeanor concealed intense internal struggle or profound effortless realization. It speaks to the transformative power of deep, consistent self-inquiry. Ultimately, your journey towards control over karma like a Stoic hinges on the profound cultivation of self-awareness. It is the vital inner lamp that illuminates your strengths and weaknesses, your virtues and your unexamined biases, allowing you to act with clarity and intention. By consistently turning inward, observing your thoughts and reactions with dispassion, you gain the power to consciously choose a path of virtue, ensuring that your karmic ripples are always beneficial and that your life is lived with deep peace and purpose. You become like a vigilant lighthouse, its beam cutting through the fog, revealing the safe passage ahead. It's about building an inner knowing so clear that false judgments and emotional reactions can no longer steer your ship. The Stoics often saw self-awareness as the very foundation of all other virtues, for how can one be wise or just without first knowing oneself? This relentless pursuit of inner clarity was their first and most enduring practice. Historians still debate whether this constant introspection ever led to excessive self-consciousness or if it consistently fostered a liberating sense of authentic self. This profound understanding of inner knowing as the starting point of all mastery is your most reliable guide on the intricate journey of karma, ensuring that your every step is imbued with enduring purpose and leads to lasting serenity. As you drift deeper into the tranquil current of this wisdom, you encounter the radiating power of compassionate action, understanding it not just as a moral imperative, but as a direct and potent force in shaping your karmic landscape towards universal harmony. This isn't about mere sentimentality, but about actively seeking the well-being of others, recognizing their shared humanity, and acting from a place of genuine benevolence. Imagine a single flame kindling another and another until an entire room is filled with warmth and light. Your compassionate actions are these flames, spreading warmth throughout the human collective. Ancient Buddhist philosophy, particularly the concept of karuna, compassion, and metta, loving kindness, teaches that cultivating these qualities not only alleviates the suffering of others, but also purifies one's own mind and generates immense positive karma. There's a poignant historical account of the Dalai Lama who, despite decades of exile and suffering inflicted upon his people, consistently advocates for peaceful resolution and actively prays for the well-being of his oppressors, a profound embodiment of boundless compassion. Historians still debate whether such unwavering compassion ever leads to feelings of resentment in private moments. It powerfully illustrates a universal ideal of extending goodwill to all. For the Stoics, while their emphasis was often on individual virtue and reason, compassionate action flowed naturally from their core tenets. Their belief in universal brotherhood cosmopolitanism meant that acting justly and benevolently towards all human beings was a rational and virtuous duty, an inherent part of living in accordance with nature. They saw humanity as a single organism, and an injury to one part was an injury to the whole. You might feel a gentle opening in your heart, a recognition that your own well-being is intricately linked to the well-being of others, fostering a desire to contribute positively. It's like realizing that keeping your own garden beautiful also contributes to the beauty of the entire neighborhood. Did you know that Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of acting for the common good, seeing himself as a servant of humanity, even while ruling an empire? It's a bit like a CEO meticulously tending to the needs of every employee, not just the bottom line, a truly enlightened leadership. Historians still debate whether his imperial duties sometimes clashed with his philosophical ideals, forcing difficult compromises. This commitment to the collective good was a profound extension of their individual virtue. The profound link between compassionate action and your karmic journey is that such actions inherently generate positive karmic ripples, creating a harmonious and benevolent future. When your intentions are pure and your deeds are aimed at alleviating suffering or promoting flourishing, the consequences that return to you are naturally beneficial, fostering peace and joy. Conversely, actions driven by selfishness or malice inevitably create negative karmic outcomes, disrupting inner and outer harmony. You are becoming a sculptor of positive destiny, shaping your future through acts of kindness and understanding. A little-known fact is that some Stoics would engage in acts of public service or charity, not for recognition, but purely as an exercise in practical justice and benevolence, fulfilling their duty as citizens of the world. Imagine Seneca, despite his personal controversies, advocating for more humane treatment of slaves in Roman law, driven by his Stoic principles of universal brotherhood. Historians still debate whether his personal wealth ever contradicted his philosophical stance on non-attachment. It suggests a practical commitment to embodying their ideals in the world. The true power that arises from compassionate action, the liberation from the narrow confines of self-interest, and the expansive joy that comes from contributing to something larger than yourself. When your actions are infused with genuine care for others, your motivations become pure, less clouded by ego, and thus your karmic contributions are elevated. This fosters a deeper sense of meaning and purpose, transcending fleeting personal desires and connecting you to universal harmony. You are becoming a force for unity and healing in the world, a beacon of positive energy. It's like a stone thrown into a pond that creates ripples that spread infinitely outwards, touching everything in their path. The ancient Hindu concept of seva selfless service emphasizes performing actions for the benefit of others without expectation of reward, believing that such service purifies the ego and accumulates profound spiritual merit, directly impacting one's karmic balance. There's an intriguing tale of a medieval Indian saint who spent his entire life tending to the sick and the poor, seeing every act of service an act of worship to the divine, his selfless devotion leading to immense spiritual peace. Historians still debate whether his physical health ever suffered from his relentless acts of service. It powerfully illustrates the transformative power of altruism. Ultimately, your journey towards control over karma like a Stoic is deeply enriched and profoundly influenced by the practice of compassionate action. It is the powerful realization that while your individual journey is important, your interconnectedness with all beings means that acts of kindness, justice, and benevolence aren't merely good deeds, but fundamental ways to shape your own destiny and contribute to the harmonious unfolding of the cosmos. By consistently acting with genuine care for others, you ensure that your karmic ripples are always beneficial, creating a life filled with peace, purpose, and universal harmony. You become like a gentle rain, nourishing all the earth, bringing life and vitality wherever you go. It's about realizing that true happiness is found not in taking, but in giving, freely and with an open heart. The Stoics often concluded their day by reflecting on how their actions had served the greater good, seeking to identify opportunities to extend their benevolence more widely. This consistent commitment to universal well-being was their pathway to profound inner peace. Historians still debate whether this focus on the collective ever overshadowed individual needs or if it simply expanded their capacity for empathy. This profound understanding of altruism as a karmic force is your most reliable guide on the intricate journey of karma, ensuring that your every step is imbued with enduring purpose and leads to lasting serenity. As the night deepens further, drawing you into an even quieter contemplation, you arrive at the crucial Stoic discipline of mastering reactions, understanding it as the ultimate key to inner tranquility and the direct pathway to controlling your karmic responses. This isn't about suppressing emotions, but about creating a deliberate pause between stimulus and response, allowing reason to guide your actions rather than impulsive reactivity. Imagine a skilled martial artist who doesn't simply block a blow, but uses the opponent's force to redirect it with effortless grace. Your reason response is that redirection, turning potential conflict into calm. Ancient Buddhist teachings extensively explore the concept of Vedana sensation and how our craving or aversion to sensations leads to suffering, urging mindfulness and non-reactivity as the path to liberation. There's a poignant historical account of the Buddha facing an angry man who hurled insults at him, and the Buddha simply asked, "If someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man, confused, replied, "To the giver." The Buddha then said, "And so it is with your insults." Historians still debate whether the man immediately understood the profound lesson or needed a moment to process. It powerfully illustrates the transformative power of non-reaction. For the Stoics, mastering reactions was perhaps the most vital practical application of their philosophy. They understood that external events were indifferent, neither good nor bad in themselves, and that it was their judgment of these events, and their subsequent emotional reactions, that caused distress. By relentlessly training their minds to evaluate situations rationally and to choose virtuous responses, they achieved an unshakable inner calm, regardless of external chaos. You might feel a profound sense of liberation stirring within you, a realization that you are not a slave to your emotions, but possess the inherent power to choose your response to any situation. It's like discovering that you can turn down the volume on the world's noise, creating a quiet space within yourself. Did you know that Epictetus, having experienced extreme adversity as a slave, taught that the path to freedom lay entirely in controlling one's own judgments and opinions, declaring it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters? It's a bit like a seasoned therapist simplifying complex emotional problems into a single, actionable truth, profoundly insightful. Historians still debate whether his students ever found this radical emphasis on personal responsibility overwhelming. This unwavering focus on internal control was their ultimate safeguard against suffering. The profound link between mastering reactions and your karmic journey is that every unexamined, reactive response to life's challenges creates negative karmic ripples of anger, frustration, or despair. Conversely, every mindful, reasoned, and virtuous response cultivates positive karma, leading to greater peace, clarity, and beneficial outcomes. You are, in essence, actively choosing your karmic destiny with every breath, every thought, every conscious decision. You are becoming a calm pilot, navigating turbulent skies with steady hands and clear vision, rather than being tossed about by every gust of wind. A little-known fact is that some Stoic exercises involve delaying immediate gratification or impulses to train their self-control, like consciously choosing to eat a plain meal instead of a rich one, simply to practice temperance. Imagine deliberately choosing the stairs instead of the elevator, not for fitness, but to practice self-discipline. It's a subtle but powerful form of self-mastery. Historians still debate whether these small acts of self-denial were truly transformative or merely symbolic. It's about building mental muscle through consistent, deliberate choices. The true inner tranquility that arises from mastering reactions is the liberation from the constant emotional roller coaster that plagues so many lives. When you are no longer swayed by fleeting emotions or external provocations, you gain a deep, abiding peace that is unshakable. This allows your actions to flow from a place of pure reason and benevolence, ensuring that your karmic contributions are always aligned with universal harmony. You are becoming a still pond, reflecting the sky perfectly, undisturbed by the ripples on its surface. It's like having an internal thermostat that keeps your emotional temperature perfectly balanced, no matter how hot or cold it gets outside. The ancient Buddhist concept of kleshas, or mental defilements like anger, greed, and delusion, emphasizes that these arise from unexamined reactions and are the root of suffering, urging mindfulness as the antidote. There's an intriguing tale of a renowned Zen master who, when insulted, would simply listen quietly, without a flicker of emotion, until the aggressor exhausted himself, demonstrating profound mastery over his reactions. Historians still debate whether he occasionally felt a flicker of annoyance, quickly quelled, or if his equanimity was absolute. It points to an incredible capacity for mental self-control. Ultimately, your journey towards control over karma like a Stoic finds its profound empowerment in mastering reactions. It is the powerful realization that while you cannot always control what happens to you, you always have complete control over how you respond to it. By consistently choosing reason over emotion, virtue over impulse, and acceptance over resistance, you cultivate an unshakable inner tranquility that ensures your karmic path is one of peace, wisdom, and profound purpose. You become like an unbreakable shield, deflecting all external negativity, your inner core remaining pristine. It's about building a mental fortress so strong that no external attack can breach your peace. The Stoics often spoke of this inner citadel as their most valuable possession, diligently protecting it through constant vigilance and practice. This unwavering commitment to emotional self-mastery was their secret to enduring serenity and their most potent karmic tool. Historians still debate whether this level of control sometimes made them seem aloof or if it simply allowed them to engage with the world more effectively. This profound understanding of responsive choice is your most reliable guide on the intricate journey of karma, ensuring that your every step is imbued with enduring purpose and leads to lasting serenity. As the final whispers of this ancient narrative begin to gather around you, drawing you towards the stillness of the night, you arrive at a profound understanding of legacy's whisper, recognizing that your life's influence extends far beyond your physical form, subtly shaping the karmic currents for those who follow. This isn't about seeking fame or monumental achievements, but about the enduring impact of your character, your values, and the ripple effect of your virtuous actions, reverberating through time. Imagine a stone dropped into a vast ocean. Its ripples continue to expand long after the stone has sunk, affecting distant shores. Your life, in this light, is a series of such ripples, influencing the future in unseen ways. Ancient Buddhist teachings emphasize the concept of punya merit, accumulated through virtuous deeds, which can benefit not only the individual, but also contribute to the well-being and positive karmic conditions of future generations, flowing like a benevolent inheritance. There is a historical account of Buddhist kings in Southeast Asia who would commission grand temples and libraries not just for their own spiritual benefit, but to establish a lasting legacy of wisdom and compassion for their people, ensuring the Dharma continued to flourish. Historians still debate whether their motivations were entirely altruistic or partly driven by a desire for lasting political stability. It highlights a universal impulse to leave a positive mark on the world. For the Stoics, while they did not believe in literal rebirth, the concept of legacy was deeply significant, albeit in a more rational, humanist sense. They understood that their actions and philosophical contributions would live on through their students, their writings, and the moral example they set for society. Their focus was on living a life of such virtue and wisdom that it would naturally inspire others to pursue the good, thereby contributing to the progress of humanity. You might feel a gentle pull towards considering the deeper impact of your choices, recognizing that every act, every word, every moment of self-mastery contributes to a larger human story. It's like a single artist painting a masterpiece, knowing that their work will inspire countless others for centuries to come. Did you know that Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, never intended for publication, became one of the most influential philosophical texts in Western history, silently shaping the minds of countless leaders and thinkers over millennia? It's a bit like writing a personal diary that accidentally becomes a timeless bestseller, influencing generations without you even trying. Historians still debate whether he would have been pleased by its widespread fame or preferred it remain a private philosophical exercise. This enduring influence, born from personal virtue, was their true legacy. The profound link between legacy as whisper and your karmic journey is that the positive karma you cultivate through virtuous living extends beyond your individual experience, subtly influencing the collective karmic fabric of humanity. When you embody wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, you not only improve your own life, but also uplift those around you, inspiring them to greater good and setting a positive example that can ripple across generations. Conversely, a life lived without virtue can leave behind shadows that affect others. You are becoming a quiet architect of a better future, building foundations of peace and wisdom that will endure. A little-known fact is that some Stoic philosophers actively engaged in public education, holding open lectures in gymnasiums and public squares, believing that spreading philosophical knowledge was a civic duty that would benefit future generations by equipping them with the tools for rational living. Imagine walking through ancient Athens and stumbling upon Epictetus debating virtue with eager young minds, a truly organic form of public education. Historians still debate whether these public philosophical discussions were always well received or sometimes met with public indifference. It suggests a deep commitment to intellectual and moral improvement for the common good. The true power that arises from understanding legacy-s whisper is the inspiration to live your life with profound purpose, knowing that your choices resonate beyond your immediate existence. When you focus on cultivating inner virtue and acting for the greater good, your motivations transcend fleeting desires, leading to a life of deeper meaning and lasting impact. This ensures that your karmic contributions are not only beneficial for you, but also become a source of positive influence for the unfolding story of humanity. You are becoming a quiet light, guiding others even when they don't consciously know you are there. It's like planting an oak tree. You may not live to see it fully grown, but you know its shade and strength will benefit countless future beings. The ancient Indian concept of rishi sage often describes spiritual masters whose profound insights and teachings continue to guide humanity for millennia, their wisdom a timeless legacy that transcends their physical lives, influencing countless karmic paths. There's an intriguing tale of the legendary sage Vyasa, who is said to have composed the Mahabharata, one of the longest epic poems in the world, embodying vast spiritual wisdom, whose influence persists to this day. Historians still debate whether he was a single historical figure or a compilation of many wise individuals over time. It powerfully illustrates the enduring power of knowledge and virtue passed down through generations. Ultimately, your journey towards control over karma like a Stoic culminates in the profound realization of legacy's whisper. It is the understanding that your life, lived with virtue and wisdom, is not merely a fleeting moment, but a continuous contribution to the karmic fabric of existence, affecting not only yourself, but also the generations to come. By consistently choosing the path of reason, justice, courage, and temperance, you ensure that your presence, both seen and unseen, leaves behind a trail of positive ripples, fostering peace, wisdom, and harmony in the world long after your physical form has departed. You become like a benevolent ghost, an unseen force for good, guiding and inspiring from beyond the veil. It's about building a life that resonates with truth and purpose, a legacy that is felt rather than just seen. The Stoics often concluded their lives with a final act of philosophical dignity, a silent testament to their commitment to living well and leaving behind a positive example for humanity. This profound awareness of their enduring influence, not as fame, but as moral resonance, was their ultimate act of karmic mastery. Historians still debate whether their deathbed composure was always as perfect as their writings suggest or if it was a final, challenging test of their philosophical resolve. This deep understanding of your lasting impact is your most reliable guide on the intricate journey of karma, ensuring that your every step is imbued with enduring purpose and leads to lasting serenity. As the final moments of this tranquil narrative gently draw to a close, a soft, ethereal hush begins to fall over you, bringing you to the ultimate destination of this philosophical journey, eternal peace, the timeless embrace that stems from a life lived in harmony with the cosmos and mastery of your karmic existence. The previous chapters have guided you through the intricate dance of cause and effect, the power of intention, the grace of acceptance, and the strength forged through daily practice. Now, as the narrative fades, you are left with the quiet, profound realization that all these threads weave into a singular tapestry of serenity, an unshakable calm that transcends the fluctuations of the world. Imagine a vast, serene ocean at midnight, its surface still, reflecting the stars above. This is the boundless peace within you when you control your karma like a Stoic. Ancient spiritual traditions across the globe, from the Hindu concept of moksha liberation to the Buddhist ideal of nirvana, all point toward a final state of freedom from suffering and rebirth, a lasting tranquility achieved through wisdom and detachment. There's a beautiful historical account of the sage Vyasa, who, after composing the Mahabharata, retreated to the Himalayas, entering deep meditative peace, absorbed in the universal consciousness, undisturbed by worldly concerns. Historians still debate whether he occasionally sent postcards from his mountain retreat. It emphasizes a universal yearning for spiritual liberation. For the Stoics, this eternal peace was known as ataraxia, unshakable tranquility, or apatheia, freedom from disturbing passions, achieved not through external circumstances, but through consistent application of reason and virtue. This state was not a fleeting emotion, but a stable, enduring condition of the soul, a quiet triumph over the vicissitudes of fate. You might feel a profound calm enveloping you, a deep understanding that your happiness is not dependent on anything outside yourself, but rests entirely within your own cultivated mind. It's like realizing you carry your own oasis wherever you go, a sanctuary of peace in the midst of any desert. Did you know that some Stoic philosophers would seek moments of solitude, not to escape the world, but to deepen their peace and reinforce their convictions, finding contentment within their minds? It's a bit like a modern digital detox, but with more toga and fewer hashtags. Historians still debate whether their solitude ever led to loneliness or if they found boundless comfort in their thoughts. This deliberate cultivation of inner quietude was their path to serenity. The profound connection between eternal peace and the culmination of your karmic journey is that when your mind is truly tranquil, free from desire, aversion, and false judgments, your actions align with the highest good. This creates karmic ripples of benevolence and wisdom, leading to harmony within and without. You no longer generate suffering through unconscious reactions, but create a flow of peace and positive energy. You become a radiant light, illuminating the world simply by existing in calm. A little-known fact is that many Stoic masters taught their students to live in the present moment as a daily exercise, believing that true peace could only be found by fully inhabiting the now. Imagine the quiet power of a Zen master focused on a single cup of tea, their entire being immersed in the act. This is the essence of tranquil presence. Historians still debate whether this focus made them detached or if it heightened their appreciation for each fleeting moment. It's about finding timelessness within the temporary. The true liberation that defines eternal peace is freedom from the cycle of suffering, from endless striving and discontent. When you have mastered your reactions, embraced impermanence, and acted with unwavering virtue, your karmic account is balanced, and your spirit finds repose in cosmic harmony. You are no longer bound by circumstances or inner turmoil, but exist in effortless grace, aligned with the universal flow. You become like a ship that has reached its harbor, gently resting after a long voyage. It's like finding the perfect rhythm in a dance, where every step flows joyfully. The ancient concept of samadhi in yoga and meditation describes a state of absorption where one experiences unity with the divine, transcending duality. There's an intriguing tale of the yogi Milarepa, who, after years of spiritual practice in solitude, attained such peace that he could manifest miracles and inspire disciples by his presence. Historians still debate whether his abilities were literal or symbolic of his attainment. It speaks to the potential of human consciousness when it achieves serenity. Ultimately, your journey toward control over karma like a Stoic culminates in the profound embrace of eternal peace. It is the quiet realization that the path to true happiness and liberation lies not in manipulating the world, but in perfecting your inner self, aligning your will with reason and virtue, and accepting the cosmos with serenity. By practicing these principles, your karmic journey becomes not a struggle, but a graceful dance toward tranquility, a return to your peaceful nature. You become like a star that has found its place in the night sky, radiating quiet light that illuminates the path for all. It's about building a fortress of calm so impenetrable no force can disturb it. The Stoics spoke of returning to the universal reason upon death, a peaceful dissolution into the cosmic order. This understanding of eternal peace as the goal, achieved through mindful virtue, is your most reliable guide. Now, as the narrative closes, let the quietude settle over you like a soft blanket. Feel the calm spreading, easing tension. The night's distant sounds soften into a gentle hum, a whisper of the universe, lulling you into rest. Let the images fade, leaving only peace and quiet knowing. Your journey has been long, but the destination, this stillness, is always within reach. May your mind be clear, your heart light, and your sleep profound. End of script. Sweet dreams.